Oh my gosh. So Steam banning all games from being able to show advertisement, in my opinion, is a massive, massive move. For the world of gaming, at least, it's just, we've been needing this for such a long time, you know? We really have been needing this for such a long time. And for someone to step in and say, look, we are no longer having your shit where you come in here and you add your advertising into our games. And to have Steam turn around and be like, hey, you know what? We're not allowing your game to be even on our platform if you have any advertisement forcing players to watch. Now, bear in mind that the wording of this is very particular. It says bans all Steam games that force players to watch advertisement. So that doesn't mean that games won't be allowed to have advertisements in-game. They are still allowed to have advertising in-game. However, they are not allowed to force players to watch that advertisement, which is, I think, a key statement there. There's a key difference because Steam is technically allowing advertising, but it's not allowing the forcing of the players to watch it, which is good in itself, but also kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, surely you wouldn't allow players to do that. But honestly, I hate game companies who think putting advertising in games is a clever thing to do. It is a fucking moronic thing to do. There is a reason that we have advertising in entertainment and not on paid services. The fact that these big TV shows such as Netflix, Prime, and then, you know, all these people start putting like advertising in entertainment, it's so stupid. We are paying for a service. Then you are lowering the quality of that service and making us pay for it. Just fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a gamer base, as a player base, as a people who and entertainers who want to just watch stuff, that's it. That's all we want to say is just fuck off. Because no one wants to see advertising in any service we are paying for. If we are paying for a game, we don't want to see advertising. If we are watching a TV series on Netflix, we don't want to see advertising. If we are paying for Prime TV, we don't want to see advertising. If we are buying the most awesome, fantastic game in the world, we don't want to see advertising. We don't want to see it. If I am playing something for free, I kind of understand there are certain conditions that come with it being free. I might see a bit of advertising. If I am watching something for free on a whatever service, I might understand I'm going to get advertising. That's okay. I'm not paying for this. I understand you need to make money some way, some shape, some form. But if I am paying for it, do not give me fucking adverts. That's simple. Yes? Yes? Okay. Good. So, yeah, I was just reading through this article here. If your game's business model relies on advertising on other platforms, you will need to remove those elements before shipping on Steam. Some options you could consider include switching to single purchase, paid app, or making your game free to play. Boom. Deal with it. Boom. Right there. Love to see it. Say it clearly. Say it with your chest, Steam. With your chest, dude. Love it. Yes, please. This comes in wake. You know what's so funny? Is at the same time that this happened, Blizzard just released loot boxes. Blizzard loot boxes into Overwatch 2. Yeah, so Overwatch 2 have now got loot boxes. Even though they removed them from the game, they've re-added them back in, ironically, which is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe they did that. It's just such a big corporation thing to do. It truly is. They've just lost perspective on who their players are, haven't they? They surely have. Surely they don't really suspect that their players want loot boxes. Surely. Am I wrong here? Overwatch 2 players. I'm an Overwatch 2 player. Before Marvel Rivals, anyway. Since Marvel Rivals, I've not really hopped back onto Overwatch. And you can't really blame me, to be honest. Marvel Rivals are just doing it too well. You know, it's hard to go back to a game which, you know, is not as good as another game you are playing. It's so difficult. You know, Marvel Rivals is just Overwatch on steroids. That's basically what it is. And it's so hard to like go back and then be like, oh, you've added loot boxes into this game. And, you know, clearly I'm not the only person thinking like that. You know, yeah, I think plenty of people want them, especially with how reacted to Riot removing free hex text chests. You think plenty of people want loot boxes in Overwatch? Really? So they had to buy their battle pass, and then they also had to get loot boxes in order to get certain things. It's just kind of it's kind of like gambling. So it does make sense. I suppose there are loads of people who want loot boxes purely from the gambling perspective, right? It's pure chance of you getting something. That's probably what it is. It's the only way to get extra goodies. Exactly. So if you want those extra goodies, you've got to get into the gambling perspective. But here's the thing, you know, in the UK, you're not allowed to buy or sell. Sorry, you're not allowed to sell loot boxes. You basically can't sell something which gives you a chance of getting something in game. It has to be like, when you're buying something, it has to be a real thing. So it's an interesting situation. For some people, loot boxes are so normalized that they can't envision any way to get skins and bonuses. Yeah, I can kind of get that. It's a shame, though. It's a huge shame. I do wish that it wasn't like that and people didn't see games like that. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. You know, the way that Marvel Rivals does it, which I really like, is you have to complete missions in order to get currency. And with that currency, you can just buy anything you want. It's that simple. Like, really, it's that simple. Like, if you want a new portrait for your character, do some missions, get some coins, and then buy that freaking portrait. It's that simple. And if you can't be asked to do that, get your checkbook out and buy it. Like, that's it. If you want to buy, you know, a fancy new skin for your character, you either buy the battle pass and, you know, grind your battle pass up, or you do a bunch of missions and you get all your coins and then you buy your skin, or you pull your checkbook out and you just buy your skin. It's like, that's what I like about it, you know? With Overwatch, this whole loot box system is just like, meh. Let's buy a bunch of loot boxes and see if we get the chance of getting something we like. Like, what? That's why you're not buying loot boxes. You're buying fake virtual currency. No laws broken. I really wish that the British government could pull their collective heads out of their own arseholes and address this type of stupidity. Literally, they're so focused on fucking over every farmer and old person they possibly can that they don't see the basic shit like massive companies like Blizzard are doing, where they're making you buy fake in-game currencies so that they can then buy loot boxes to get around the anti-gambling laws from the UK. Literally, it's disgusting. Oh, well, that's it. Oh, one other thing. Steam at this point, so Steam got this new thing where, you know how like loads of game studios create games and leave them in beta for years and years, and then they don't update them just to get a little bit of money, and they kind of like leave it to like passively make them money. And because it's early access, they can't be told off for that game not ever being fully developed. And so they start a bunch of projects, they leave it on Steam to like bring them in some money, and people buy it thinking, oh yeah, or they're going to develop this game, let's get in early. No, they're not going to develop it. It's never going to happen, and it's that simple. So now Steam are putting these personal notes on that says, you know, this game hasn't been updated in years, so that people know that they're actually buying into a scam. This is a massive W for Steam to do this. Literally, it's stopping the amount of scam developers out there, because let's just picture, right? You're a developer with some minimal gaming code, like skill. You know, you've got some minimal gaming code ability and you want to earn some money. Why don't you just develop like 10 bad games, make them have somewhat a good plan of action for future, whack them up on Steam and say, support this game if you want it to do well, and then literally don't develop any of them and just make the money from them. That's what people have done. So Steam putting this on there now and saying, oh yeah, this game's not been updated in 5 years. This is just a stance to say, boom, These guys are scamming you effectively, and I love that. I absolutely love that. Game studios think, and so far they seem to be right in most places, except I think Denmark. You buy 10,000 diamond jewels for $100. It's not gambling. Yeah, that's it. It's, yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well. Right, guys. So that's it. That's it. Who have we got in the chat? Let's have a look.